So I told you I would tell you about the routing and such. So let's talk about it. Let me tell you, if that's okay. Okay, it all really starts and ends here at the Pro Tools, the Avid Pro Tools Matrix Studio, but it also ends here. So the Avid Pro Tools Matrix Studio is a beast of a one space interface. It sounds delicious. It does so many things, but essentially it is the brain that is A to D and D to A. From the Mac Pro, the Pro Tools HDX card transmits through DigiLink cable direct to the back of the Matrix Studio, straight through DigiLink. And it also has capability of Dante. I have not implemented Dante yet, but there's 64 channels of Dante. A lot of capability there as well, digital and analog. On the back of the unit, so you've got 64 IO Dante. You have 16 channels of analog line inputs. You have 16 channels of analog line outputs. There's also 2 built-in, really great sounding preamps on the back, just 2. Or you can opt for the instrument input on the front. This also serves as a monitor controller, so you can cycle through monitor profiles as well, but I use the M905 for traditional stereo left-right monitoring. But the Matrix Studio has the capability of, I can't remember how many you can do, or you tell me, I don't know. You can do a full Dolby Atmos speaker system with this thing. It's crazy. Avid really knocked it out of the park with the capability and what this interface, in simplest terms, can do. Pristine sound quality, I think. I think it sounds really, really good. There's all sorts of other digital capability. So for instance, on the output side of the Matrix Studio, there's, well, let's say on the digital side, there's also 16 ADAT in and 16 ADAT out. I use the 16 ADAT out to go to the Behringer P16 mixers. 16 ADAT in, I use the first 8 channels. I'm going backwards here, this is dumb. 17 through 24 preamps on the ASP880 is run over one ADAT cable to the Matrix Studio. But 1 through 16, 1 through 8, 9 through 16, 1 through 16 is over DB25, straight out of the ASP880s, the first 16, straight into the analog line inputs on the Matrix Studio. So in all reality, I still have 8 more channels over ADAT of inputs that I could use. The whole Dante side I could use. I'm actually not even utilizing the 16 analog outs, which I could opt to use those for the P16, but honestly, the conversion, the sound, everything's great on the P16s. So that's not even needed. So in each tracking room, I have these DB25 stage boxes. Right there. Right there. And then they all meet up right here in the first 16 preamps that go directly to the first 16 ASP880 preamps. It's all over DB25. So it goes out, and then it goes that way. Then it all goes up into the rack. Up in there. And voila, there's 1 through 16. Those preamps go line out to the Avid Matrix Studio. The only difference is this guy. This is actually channel 1 out of 16. And for right now, just for ease of use, it is going to channel 1 line input on the ASP880. But let me also throw a curveball at that as well. I have a few patches down here. That is the tie line number 1 out of the 16 first channels. Comes out here and it simply just goes into the Manley. And then the output of the Manley goes to, well, you guessed it, that guy. Now the reason I have these down here is, for right now, if I'm in the control room, I want to track, let's say, bass guitar, and I want to just go straight into the Rupert Neve DI. all I have to do is take this guy and go into that guy. So still on that topic, I have the through of the Rupert Neve DI going to this Korg pitch black tuner. So all I have to do is plug 1/4 inch in there, bass guitar goes in there, XLR goes out of there, but I can just easily plug that in and tune. And after tuning, you get the glorious huge bass guitar sound through the Manly Core reference channel strip. It really sounds massive, it's crazy. I used a lot of outboard gear for bass guitar, and I don't know, hasn't really, nothing's touched this guy. Nothing's touched this guy. All right, back to the inputs. So 1 through 16, as we review, they are over DB25, and then they go analog in to the Matrix Studio. 17 through 24, as I have mentioned right now or before, it goes over 8-AT cable straight out of the back of the ASP880, 17 through 24, to the Avid Matrix Studio, 8-AT 1 through 8. So that is my 1 through 24 preamp situation. These preamps though, they're more of control room preamps. So I have these 6 dedicated mic tie lines, ASP 17 through 22, going straight to 17 through 22. And for right now, I've had this for a while, but I have the Kemper going straight to 23 and 24. So if I want to track electric guitar, or have an electric guitarist in here, literally all we got to do is they grab their guitar. If they have a pedal board, great. If they don't, and they just want to go straight in to the Kemper, boop, input number 1 on the tuner, and output goes straight there. Now, yes, I know there's a tuner on the Kemper, but it's just, you know, you keep it in Perform, you got all your parameters you can change, and you get the outboard tuner. It's just ease of use. It's great. Already touched on this, but the 8-AT 1 through 16 goes, I could show you, but I'll spare you. It's fine. Good Lord. So 8-AT 1 through 16, 8-AT cable goes straight to Behringer P16i. And then that breaks out. A bunch of cables go that way into that room over there, and then they break out and they go to the separate rooms. So after all this is said and done, and sound is happening and all that, you gotta have sound coming out of those guys. So the Avid Matrix Studio has dedicated left and right stereo outs, monitor out. So they go out and they go to the Grace M905. Reference monitor controller, mastering grade converters, DAC, it's got it all. So left and right main out of the Matrix into the Grace M905. Cables go that way, up through there and all that. And then you got that fella. Whoops. Then it goes to that guy, and it goes to that guy. Yeah, that's kind of it. There's a bunch of other things like HDMI cables that break out of the Mac Pro, and they also go that way because I have a screen in the drum room, and I have a screen way back there in the vocal booth. And then I guess the other little piece is USB extension. I've got a USB extender that comes from the Mac Pro as well. It goes to the drum room. And so that was probably super confusing. And if you don't know what any of this stuff is, God bless you if you enjoyed all of that. But if you do know what this stuff is, I hope you enjoyed it. And, you know, it gave you a little insight into how I plug things in sometimes. Anywho. Hope you're all well. Thanks so much for watching my nerdy subpar videos. Have a great day.